Hey everyone, how's it going? Delta Meyer here, back with another video. This one should go out on Friday. So, we just saw in the beginning there, we had a Dratini, my favorite card actually, from, my favorite set, EX Delta species. Today we're going to be talking about enjoying Pokemon in your own way. So I guess we'll start off with this, right? We're going to talk a little bit about how people switch up in this hobby, unfortunately. So I guess the first example I'm going to talk about is people picking up or hyping up Rainbow Rares back in the day. If you were around during the Sun and Moon era, you would have known that the Rainbow Rares were they're primarily the cards to pull, and basically all the sets. And then eventually, at some point, the alternate arts, people started actually realizing, like, hey, these are really cool too. So then those started having a monetary value that exceeded the Rainbow Rares, and it was just really interesting seeing how people switch up in this way. And this is seen time and time again, plenty of sets over the years. Like, once a card becomes expensive, then all of a sudden everybody's like, oh yeah, no, I always liked this card. And that's, no, we're not doing that. So I could think of another one too. Actually, was let's go Evolving Skies. Very interestingly, Rayquaza was actually the most expensive card initially when Evolving Skies came out. It wasn't Moonbryon. Can't remember the exact price for Rayquaza, but yeah, it was definitely number one. And then eventually Moonbryon became more expensive, and then as kind of very similar to the Sun and Moon, then people just started talking about Moonbryon, and it's pretty interesting. Like, of course, I'm not gonna have a problem with people liking what they like, but I do have a problem with people being persuaded to just lean towards something because it's worth more money. And that's a case where it's just, people just being followed, being led by others. And in a hobby that's supposed to be for fun, you're supposed to collect what you want to actually collect. That's a no-go in my eyes. So I really think that people should be allowed to truly enjoy what they want to in this hobby, and not feel like they need to accept what's expensive or what's popular in terms of chases. Like, okay, if there's an artwork, let's say Moonbryon, that everybody was just, chasing from the beginning, sure, cool, no problems there, but it's just interesting how things changed up once, monetary value got involved. Another thing I do want to talk about actually in this hobby is how a lot of people hurl insults towards certain generations, certain sets, and I don't know. The reason I have a problem with this is people have different likes. There's going to be someone that might actually like that set, and that's not cool in my eyes to be, talking down on it. Like me, I genuinely like hollows that we've been seeing throughout the last few years. I'll put some pictures, but yeah, I don't know. It's nice, when it has just like it's a simple card, has a nice background going. I know the hollow pattern is a little different than what we had in the past and with other sets, but it's still pretty nice. I don't think there should be that big of a deal or that much of a problem with that. Looks pretty good. So, another thing, if everybody, just follows the same opinion based off of, the loudest voices or the people just saying, oh, you should like this because it's more expensive, then this hobby is going to be very boring, because then it just becomes everybody having the same exact fake opinion because they don't really, then it just becomes about money, and it's been like this in this hobby for a while. I know there's plenty of investment channels. People talk about, oh, do this, do that to make money. It's like, okay, we get it, but sometimes you just want to enjoy the sets you enjoy. You don't really want to think about money when you're, well, for those of us that are older, if you work or you have a business, you're constantly thinking about money. Maybe you don't want to be thinking about that while you're opening your Pokemon cards, or when you're looking at your collection, or when you're playing the TCG game. Just food for thought there. But yeah, it's really interesting as well. Like, people will really try to dunk on new Pokemon abilities like the terrestrialization. I absolutely can't stand how people will say, "Oh, the stupid diamond hat thing." Like, it's just, I understand they didn't, look into it or anything, but if they're going to be YouTubers and they're going to make videos, they should probably, you know, probably just look at what Pokemon Company released in terms of the game. How are you going to critique a game if you haven't even played the game? And it's a really popular view. It's just kind of crazy in my eyes. Like, really? Everyone's just gonna bandwagon behind this, like, hating on the ability that you haven't even played the game of and seen? And I know I keep saying everybody, but that's because of in terms of the general consensus, like, a lot of people in the comments, like, I'll see if the Pokemon Company posts something on, let's say, Instagram, a lot of people just like, oh, I hate the diamond thing, and it's like, oh my gosh, like, it's more than that. It's actually a really good mechanic in the game. It's changed up the competitive scene and everything. But people that literally don't even know what they're talking about get praised for that. That's not good. Yeah. I don't know, it's just interesting how people who don't even take the time to learn about the new generations but have so much to say and people just eat it up. That's kind of crazy. So, I don't know. I just want to advise, you to form your own opinions. Enjoy this hobby like you would want to. I don't know, don't feel like you have to jump on the hype train ever, because it's just not worth it. Then you look back at your collection and you think, did I collect what I actually want to? Or did I collect what was popular? Did I collect what X or Y YouTuber said to collect? This card that I actually really wanted, I never collected it, and now it's kind of out of reach. Those are just kind of things to consider and kind of why I'm talking about this video. Yeah, it's very interesting. People really do forget that there's a big part of nostalgia, obviously, with Pokemon, and I get it. That's why some people may say, "Oh, well, that's why some people may have favorite generations, right?" And that's not a problem. I wouldn't have a problem with that, but it's a problem in my eyes when you go and you talk down on other generations, because that's other people trying to enjoy something, and you're just basically trying to say what you had or have is just better, always going to be better, and it's just disrespectful in my eyes at the end of the day. So, yeah, that's video 2 here.